the best way to protect yourself and your loved ones from scammers is to prevent the scammers from ringing your phone in the first place. And I have good news. There are free and inexpensive ways to significantly reduce the number of robocalls and scam calls that ring your phone, whether your phone is a smartphone, a flip phone, or a landline. And this presentation explains how to do it.
The things I'm going to share about today are things I started learning as I helped my parents, kind of as they went through various transitions in life and ability. But when I first got my interest in this topic is that my wife's one of her best friends, her parents got scammed out of most of their life savings. It's a common scam. And the thing was, you run this sweepstakes, and somehow, basically, you'll be able to pay off your children's mortgages, and you'll be able to pay for your grandchildren's education. But the exact opposite happened. And by the time the kids learned about it, almost all of their life savings was gone. And before I could find a solution, now I did find one within a month, but before I could find that, they moved the parents out of their apartment in Storm Lake, Iowa, into the basement, the home of one of the siblings, and took Dad's phone away because it became evident their dad was dealing with dementia, and it didn't matter if they told him, Dad, don't give out information. He would give out information. So, and they visit us every summer. Last summer they just come back from a family reunion, and she said her dad lives ashamed every day because he has a daily reminder. I can't be trusted with the phone because if he wants to call someone, he has to ask his son, can I use the phone? And if someone wants to call him, they have to call the son, and then the son gives the phone to Dad. And so he's got a constant reminder of that failure. But it's not his fault. These are criminals, and they're very tricky. The problem is, so that's where I started, and then again, I was able to help my parents stay connected safely throughout. After my mom passed away, talking with the pastor, he said, you shouldn't let what you've learned go to waste. Other people should know about these things. And so I should have started as a nonprofit. But I started a company called Caregiver Technology Solutions. And the things I've identified have won a couple national awards from organizations that support caregivers and families. And this is my motto, stay connected safely. Because one of the many lessons out of the pandemic was isolation is bad for people, right? And lacking this communication, it cuts you off. And then that's bad for you. But, so we want to stay connected, but we want to stay connected safely. And that oftentimes hopefully means, cutting off the bad guys as much as possible. So quickly, I'm not doing the full presentation today. It's about 45 minutes long. I'm going to breeze through just to highlight, here is the scope of the risk. What some of the common scams, although you could tell me, I'm pretty sure, what to watch out for, and then what to do when criminals call, and then how to keep them from ringing your phone is the kind of my main point, really. This data comes from one of the apps, the providers of apps that help block calls, but they track all this stuff. In 2022, 1 in 4 Americans got scammed over the phone. Now there are other methods too, unfortunately, but 1 in 4 Americans, and they lost, according to their data, 68 million. Actually, it's more than that. I think it would be, right, okay, the FBI tracks reported crimes that deal with internet stuff. So of people who contacted the FBI after they realized they'd been scammed and identified themselves as being 60 years of age or older, so this isn't all the crime, this isn't even all the people that reported, but those who said on the form, yes, I'm 60 years or older, it's a huge problem and it's growing. Okay, for 2021, the losses they said was 1.7 billion. And that was 74% up from the prior year. Here's the report recently came out for 2022 from the FBI. $3 billion, an 84% increase. The average loss was $35,000. And more than 5,000 of your fellow Americans were scammed out of $100,000 or more. It's a very interesting report to people like me. It goes on, it breaks out by state what the losses are. And based on our Nebraska, it was a little over $16 million. And based on the number of senior adults, according to the census, it averaged over $130 per person in Nebraska, your fellow Nebraskans, that's how much they lost via scams last year, on average. So if you were scammed out of less than $130 last year, you're a winner. But we don't know what would it mean to your family to lose $100,000 or $150,000? This is not just a senior adult problem. Okay, over 60s, yes, the losses, again, this is just what got reported. The FBI was over $3 billion. But it starts all the way down to the 20s. In fact, some stuff I saw said the younger people are more susceptible to falling for it. But of course, if someone tried to get $100,000 out of any of my kids, good luck. You just don't have that much money. But once you even hit the 30s, each decade, it's over $1 billion of losses reported to the FBI last year. So it's a huge problem. Here was last summer in Lincoln, when we got scammed out of $149,000 for someone who claimed they were from the Drug Enforcement Agency. Things have been compromised. She needed to close her existing accounts because they've been compromised by criminals, and they would facilitate for her moving her money into a new safe account. $150,000 almost. And the bad news is, again, I don't want to totally depress you, but I do want to scare you a little bit to say it's not just something that happens once in a while, it's happening very, very often. The fraud problem is going to get much worse in the days to come because they're getting more and more information about you, and what they call real-time deepfakes are coming. Why do they know a lot about you? Because in the last 2 years, the criminal gangs have targeted healthcare organizations. And in Illinois, one hospital closed. They couldn't submit bills for 13 weeks. They closed this week. But basically, they've been targeting these healthcare organizations, and they infiltrate their networks, and then they grab all their data. So for millions of Americans now, the criminals know what hospitals you've been in, your Medicare information, your insurance information, who your doctor is, what treatments you've received, and they can use that information to really target either you or the people that provide services to you. And now you've had to heard about artificial intelligence in the last few months, right? That's on that technology in real time. I have software that if I let them capture my voice, but if they have pictures, if you've posted videos online, like our pastors all have, they can now take those videos and the audio, and they can, at their computer with their webcam, call you, maybe do a video call to you, talk to you. The image they're going to see is you. The voice they're going to hear is your voice. It's fairly expensive to do right now, but it's not real expensive. But so for targeted scams, it's happily, most of us are not people of super high net worth. So, it might not be worth their while. But it's bad and it's getting worse. Common paths, there are many. Phones are a very, very common path for the start of a scam. But they also come via text, emails. I constantly, every day, I get emails. They're obviously scam. I said, why can't Microsoft figure this out and block them from me? But they're getting through. Social media websites, other things. Very, very common is I'm from the government. Again, like that DEA scam for the gal in Lincoln. Other common scams, auto warranty extensions. I'm sure you raise your hands. Yes, you've got that call. How about the grandchild emergency?
Oh, yeah.
My mom got those many times. I loved her response. She says, why are you calling me? Call your dad.
I I got one from my grandson. He had the right name. I said, have a nice evening. He's in jail. I said, have
Oh,
a nice evening.
there you go. Yeah, the sweepstakes scam is the one that caught my friend's dad. Visa, Amazon, or Apple. Did you order a $1,300 iPhone and have it delivered to Florida? That doesn't seem right to us. You know, this is the Visa scam fraud department. It wasn't Visa calling, it was the scammers. And then they trick you into giving out information that lets them steal from you.
There, Ken, what you do there is you hang up and call Visa.
That would be a very good thing to do. Yeah, so,
Never call those people, the number they give you.
exactly right. Yep, I'm gonna hit the advice here in a minute. So we're done with the scare you part. Now, how to take action, what to do. First, what to watch out for. Again, you're all mentally pretty sharp, so you can use these. If you care for someone who's less sharp, there are things you want to implement as well. So here it is. What makes it likely that they're scam? First, if they pressure you to act quickly. You need to do this today. When I opened the bank account for my business here at local bank, over the previous week, they had prevented a woman from wiring $40,000 to criminals. They had called her, said, you didn't show up for jury duty. This is a very common scam. And a warrant for your arrest has been issued. If you do not pay this fine, $40,000 today, the sheriff will be there to arrest you before the end of the day. Yes, it's a felony. So that was the thing. And so she came to the bank, was wiring, but the staff said, this looks wrong. Happily, this woman's daughter's name was also on that particular account, so they were able to contact her and say, we're about to move $40,000 out of this account. We don't think this is legit. The daughter had to drive to the bank and talk her mother out of sending the money, because she said, they are gonna arrest me if I don't send this money. So if they press you to act quickly, you have to send it today or you're in jail. That's a scam. They will never call, they don't call you. They send you letters in the mail, and you've got hearings and things. Scammers will tell you to pay in a specific way. When I go to McDonald's or JCPenney's or something, I can pay with a credit card, I can pay with cash. They never ask me to pay with a gift card. You know, or to wire money to them. If they're asking you to do a gift card, wire transfer, cryptocurrency, or a messenger will send someone to pick up the money from you. That's what's happened in Lincoln. They were sending people to their house to pick up the bags of money. That's a scam. If they ask for your personal or financial information, never give it out. Never, 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 never. And if they promise easy money or big profits. As my mom used to say, I'm sure you've heard this saying, if it sounds too good to be true, it is too good to be true, yes. Okay. So is it a scam? Before you act, so if you're not sure even after hearing this information, one thing you can do is do a Google search on what they've been telling you. There's a very good possibility it'll immediately pull up, oh, yep, here's a well-known scam. It's a well-known scam. For more information on how to recognize a scam, this scams, ftc.gov scams link would take you there. And by the way, if you give me your email address, after this, I can send you a link to the whole presentation and such. You're welcome to have that. Okay, what not to do?
You won't charge us.
No. Yeah, if someone says, hey, this is Ken Clipperton, and I'll sell you this report for $99, that was not me. Okay, so the old guidance was don't give sensitive information, don't send money, and don't say yes. That's all true. But the new guidance is, one, don't believe caller ID. Because the ones pretending to be the sheriff, they're sending the sheriff's phone number.
You can do that yourself.
Yeah, right. You can do that yourself. So don't believe caller ID. Here's the new guidance. Don't say anything. When you answer, if it's your kid calling, you can tell they're live with you on the right. If there's a couple seconds of silence,
Right.
or if you hear a click and then you can hear a call center, hang up. Just right away. Just the sooner you hang up, the better. Don't say anything, just hang up. Don't press anything. Don't press, so press one if you know, don't do that. Never do that. Don't press a button. Just hang up.
Hanging up's only good when you have a phone that's got a cord.
Press the red button. There you go. Press the red button, Pastor. No, yeah, I mean, you can hang up. The rest of us can press the red button. What to do when criminals call? Just hang up. The Nebraska Attorney General put out like a 70-page guide. It's very useful, talks about all kinds of scams and how to protect yourself. They put in big letters in there, the guide. It's okay to be rude. Because we're Nebraskans, and we're not rude. The Attorney General says it's okay to be rude. Just hang up. They do urge you to report scam calls, and there are several ways to do that. But even better than just hanging up is don't let them ring your phone in the first place. And there are free and inexpensive ways to do that, to dramatically cut down the phone calls you'll receive. Again, the full presentation has information about where to report scams. Yes? Becky?
Oh, no, I'm good.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, because I thought that was just, I've seen ones that you have to pay for.
And there are, yeah, I'll talk about those as well. There's free and then there's paid for. A quick survey. What kind of phone or phones do you use, or does someone you care for use? Apple, iPhone? Okay. A smartphone that's not an Apple phone? That's me. Okay. A flip phone? Okay, yes. Fewer options for you, sorry. Home phone. Home phone. Do you have a home phone line still? Yep, so do we.
Oh, wall phone.
A wall phone, there you go. There are ways to protect all those devices. So let's do them quickly. Okay. I got 7 minutes left. All right. First of all, from the phone, if you want to reduce the number of times your phone is ringing, get on the National Do Not Call Registry. From the phone you want to protect, all you have to do is dial this 800 number. Well, that's 888 number, this toll-free number, and you can register your phone. If it's already registered, it'll tell you you've been registered for 4 years. You know, congratulations, you're already on the list. But just push a button, and it'll put you on this Do Not Call registry. Now, it's pretty obvious. The criminals don't care about the Do Not Call registry, but how that helps you is this. Legitimate organizations do honor the Do Not Call registry, and it's illegal for a company to call you on the phone to solicit you if you don't already have a relationship with them. So if I get a phone call from Harbor Freight, I get a lot of emails from them to get through.
Yeah, me too.
But if you get a phone call from Harbor Freight, for example,
Wait a lot of stuff.
I know that's not, they are a real company, but they are not calling me because I've never bought anything from them. So as soon as I hear, oh, I'm getting a call from a company I've never done business with, you can hang up. That's not a legitimate call. So that's the advantage of doing the Do Not Call registry. Again, it will cut down the number of annoying calls you get from legitimate organizations. Yes, charitable organizations and political people running for office can still call you. That's a caveat in the law.
That's legal to hang up on them too.
And it's legal to hang up on them. Okay, so here's how to reduce the risk by, again, don't let the criminals ring your phone. Now again, for my family, my dad suffered significantly from dementia. I needed to keep his phone from ringing, except when it was someone who he wants to hear from. So there are built-in features on our smartphones now. If you got the current versions of the software, they're quite good at giving you scam notices if you enable them. They're also call blocking apps. So there's things built right into the phone app. There's call blocking apps you can install. And then for home phones, you go with a voice over IP service, or I found 2 solutions that work with home phones. This one's called IMP. It's my phone. The guy who started this company did it because he wanted to cut down on the times his phone is ringing. He's a young guy. I mean, like maybe my age. But for this, I mean, you plug in the power, you plug one jack goes to the wall, one jack goes to your phone, and then there's a simple start procedure. Basically, it downloads your contact list from your smartphone into this box, or the smartphone of someone who loves you carefully or closely. You know, a relative anyway. But like I could use my list for my parents because again, all my siblings, you know, the family is all in there, so that'll get it. And basically, once you've got that set up, it'll only let people ring the phone initially who were on that call list. If anyone, after it's installed, anyone that you call out, they automatically get added, kind of thing. Everyone else, most everyone else gets sent to voicemail. The known scammers do get completely blocked. But it's like $50 to buy it and $10 a month. And again, it dramatically cuts down ringing. There are a couple other solutions I have that also work. Okay, so.
What if your family members are scammers?
Well, you can blacklist them. Actually, yeah, you can blacklist them. With the one solution I also recommend by UMA, it's OOMA, not UMA. Yeah, you know, it's not a supermodel. It's OOMA, and you can actually specify what happens to those calls you blacklist. You can set it just ring, 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 or you can give it blah, 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 the number you called has been disconnected, or whatever, you know. Okay, so I want you to have something to act on in the next few minutes. So I'm going to go back, since there are a bunch of iPhone users. iPhone has really good capability. Now again, if it's your business phone and you need to take calls from people you've never heard from before and can't send them to voicemail, this isn't good. But if it's your own phone, personal, there's a feature called Silence Unknown Callers. Just go into that feature, turn it on, and once you've done that, it will block any phone numbers that you've never been in contact with and have not saved in your contacts. It knows about your text messages as well. So if you've been back and forth texting, those people can ring your phone and the people in your contact list, but everyone else gets sent to voicemail. Now the scammers are allowed to leave voicemail too with that, but at least they're not ringing your phone, okay? With this box, by the way, they track it nationally, and this was installed in Roger and Shirley's apartment until a few days ago. They are just like the national average. 83% of the times the phone would have rung, it didn't. 17% of the calls rang through. Now, 17% were calls they wanted. 83% were calls they didn't want. And that's completely in line with their national stats with these things as well. So that'd be so, you know, 83% fewer times your phone rings, probably, if you turn this on. Beyond these capabilities, if you want more sophisticated call blocking, you can use an app. For Android phones, you know, the not Apple phones, it varies depending on what brand you have and how up-to-date the software is. But it's got very similar capabilities. My phone, I have caller ID and spam protection. And you've probably seen this if you have it turned on. When the phone rings, it says probable scam or probable spam. So you know, well, don't answer that. You can also tell it if it's probably a scam call, just block it by turning on it's clicking the next option, filter scam calls. So they don't even get a chance to leave you a voicemail or anything. And so again, it's built right into your smartphone. So just turn that on and you'll get lots fewer calls, and almost all the time when your phone rings, it'll be someone you want to talk to. Again, the default action on there is if it doesn't let them ring your phone, it's going to send them to voicemail. So you'll still get a voicemail if it's really important. Probably how you're handling your home phone, right? At our house, we don't recognize the number, we just let it ring until it goes to voicemail. If it's important, they'll leave a voicemail. Essentially, this does the same thing for you. Okay. Beyond that basic level that's built into the phone, every major cell phone provider has already paid for a call blocking app, at least at a basic level, for you. It's included in your subscription price. If you go to their websites, you'll find out. I got the links in the presentation for T-Mobile. They call it Scam Shield. Verizon calls it Call Filter. And AT&T calls it Call Protect. You can turn these on. Won't cost you anything extra. If you want more advanced features, like, oh, I really want to completely block them and not let them go to voicemail, you might have to pay a few dollars a month for the pro version. And that's true of here. Also, third-party applications. I've included these on the sheet there because guess what? If you go to just the web store, the Apple Store or the Play Store, some of the call blocking apps are owned by the scammers. So,
Pay them not to call you.
well, right. Why just hit you once if they can get money from you every month, right? Isn't that terrible? So, don't just install anything, but this is a list of very well-known, reputable apps if you want a higher level of protection than what's built into your phone. And at most, it'll cost you $4 or $5 a month. Okay? All right. So, you can keep the bad guys off your smartphone, just most of them away, just by turning on those capabilities.
You're
But
gonna
again,
sit here at the table and we'll bring you our phone and you can show us how to do it.
I'll stick around for a while. I'll stick around for a while, yeah. Okay, now, and I have, again, if you sign up and get the whole thing, or I think I've got the slide on there, the best single resource with guidance online is from the Federal Trade Commission, this How Stop Unwanted Calls. So you go to that link and it has all this information and more. If you have a home phone, you probably have either Cox or Centurylink. If you have a Cox digital phone, they have already paid for the service called No Mo Robo. And before we implemented the UMA thing at our house, what it does, when a call comes in, it rings once. The caller ID digits actually get sent between the first and second ring. I learned that recently. So it rings once, and then No Mo Robo checks their database. If it's a known scammer, they don't let it ring your phone again. So for many months, Julie and I, we'd heard the phone ring once and stop, and we'd look at each other and say, "Thank you, No Mo Robo." But that's already paid for by them. It doesn't cost you anything extra. You just have to go to their website and set it up if you have a Cox digital phone. And for Centurylink, you have to go to actually the No Mo Robo website to set it up, but you can set it up for your Centurylink phone as well. Choose landlines, internet landline, etc., and they'll just step you through the process of enrolling your phone number with No Mo Robo. And behind the scenes, it's a Verizon computer that sends the calls to you, and so once you've signed up, they know to send it to No Mo Robo for a check. Okay. Specialized phone solutions. I've already mentioned It's My Phone. Again, if you have a home phone line or someone you love who, especially if they're dealing with dementia issues, want to protect them, it's $50 to buy it and $10 a month. The UMA solution I sell, it's like $20 a month for the service, but it replaces your home phone line. For my mom and my brother that lived there at the house, their phone bill went down $40, their total cost a month, because it replaced their Cox line. And it's $20 of taxes that they didn't realize what they were paying every month. There's also a service really targeted for dementia, people dealing with dementia, called Telecom, that has some really advanced features. Like there are certain hours of the day where they can't call you if you're the caregiver, that kind of thing. Special centers, they call 911, because you don't have to call 911 a few times, they charge you every time they come. Did you know that? Most municipalities, yeah. And so people are getting killed with, mom keeps calling 911. But with Telecom, you can sign up so that if they call 911, it goes to a specialized call center that Telecom manages, and they know about dementia issues, and they know what to do when the person calls. And if it's a real emergency, they'll patch it through to 911. If it's not, they'll work out some other way. They'll talk to them for a while. Anyway, you can learn more about that on the website for my company. Okay, I'm over 20 minutes. So here's the message. Stop unwanted calls before they happen by implementing one of these call blocking technologies that's built into your phone, paid for by your phone provider, or if you can't find something that you like there, go to one of those 6 or 7 apps, install that, and your smartphone will ring much less. The caveat there though is, and there are also tablets. Again, if you want to help someone you care about stay connected, it's not just phone calls, it's also text messages and emails and things. With these tablet solutions, not only are phone calls from people not on the contact list blocked, but also text messages and emails. But it costs like $65 to $90 a month. But someone you care about can still stay connected that way and protected from a wider range of scammers. So that's that. I would say if you want to get a copy of this presentation, you can either like sign up for, I occasionally, not weekly, occasionally send out a newsletter, maybe once a month. But it's via email, tips about things like this. If you sign up for that, I'll send you a copy of the presentation, or if you just put your email address on the sheet of paper back there at that back table, I'll send you a copy of the full presentation. So that, you don't have to type out these links and stuff, you just click the link. Also, I do post stuff on Facebook under Caregiver Technology Solutions. Okay, so get on the new do not call list, and if you just have a personal phone you want to ring less, turn on those built-in capabilities at a bare minimum. Costs you nothing, saves you at least irritation, right? And maybe protects you from bad guys. Okay, thanks.
Thank you.
I have one more.
If you found this video helpful, please watch other videos on the Clipperton Tech YouTube channel and check out the description for resources that will help you and your loved ones stay connected safely. Thank you.